For 3 days, you put in a nice professional effort. You go 2-1 on the show all 3 days. And then Mark Zinno, the bottom drops out on Thursday. Not a good show yesterday at all by us.
You mean by like winless?
Yes. Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Yes.
Kind of the opposite of good.
Yes. It was
bad.
bad.
We're back to it's a bet now. After
it is. Yes. And that was the worst thing. We had turned the it's a bet to best bet. And by the way, here, hold on a second.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. You dunce. Okay. I tried to first. I told everybody yesterday. I said, if we're going to get a play wrong, that it was probably going to be the Orioles, but we were going to ride with it. Right. And to the guy in the comment section, the Cubs hit us the I mean, can I just, before I even go on this rant with you being a dunce, okay, guys?
Can I take this off?
No, wait till I'm done with my rant. Then you get to take it off. Okay. We know when we give out a pick that loses, you don't need to come in the comment section and tell us. We're well aware of what games we give out, and we track the record every single day. So you telling us in the comment section it was a bad play is redundant. And it also makes you a douche. Anyway, let's go back to, I told everybody that the Orioles was the risky play. But you, like a freaking stunad, okay, like a little gabadost, okay, had to go back to the Reds White Sox over again for a third straight night, and you lost for a third straight night, and now you are a dunce, okay? And we have a rule in the show. What's the rule about baseball? You can't go back to the same series 2 games in a row. Dunce. Right. There you go. Now it fell
off. Yeah, that series just, it did not want to go over any of the games. The Reds scored 7. No. They had 7 runs in the 6th inning. And after the White Sox, remember I talked about this yesterday, the White Sox, the irony of the first 2 games not going over is the White Sox had done their part with 4 and 5 runs. So what did they do yesterday? They get shut up.
Yeah. Well, again,
it was getaway day. They wanted to leave. They wanted to get one more trip to Skyline Chili in before flying back home.
Get away the Orioles. They should get away from baseball. That's a bad baseball team.
They're not good. They're going to win like 75 games and finish in last place in the AL East.
Yeah, they might not win 70 games. Like, ew.
My God.
Bad. Yeah, they were really good, and they got really bad really fast. It's kind of crazy.
I was just looking at this morning, FanDuel had, updated win totals, and I think that it was like 74.5 for Baltimore. That's a difference of already what they were projected like 89.5 before the season. Yeah. There's no way there's been a bigger downgrade. I think even Colorado probably hasn't been downgraded that much because they were projected in the 50s.
Yeah. By the way, I got a basketball play again right last night. Look at that by the skin of my ass.
Yes. It's very interesting. So
I wasn't able to watch the game, and you text me.
Yeah, and you're like, I lost. I'm like, no, you won, and why haven't earned it? Yes.
Okay, so here I'm doing the military thing, like the exercise is winding down. So a bunch of us all went out to dinner last night, and I had a couple of bourbons.
And you couldn't count.
And the problem was I really couldn't do the math. I was staring at my phone going, 27 and 33 is counted a 2. And then I'm like, wait, I lost.
Well, now, if I was going to be an asshole, I would say your inability to count is kind of embarrassing because you laid 2 in the first half and they were up by 3. Those are numbers.
Yeah, that's what I couldn't figure out.
I would expect you to know that. I knew something was up when you didn't text me like a maniac at half when you got the 3 right before the buzzer from it was Lou Dort. So our best bet on the show, it's a best bet, it's a bet, whatever it was wrong. Oklahoma City team total over. However,
God, that was an abhorrent second half by them.
It was. Nevertheless, you cashed Oklahoma City in the first half for your clients. Mm-hmm. I cashed the full game total over. I started texting you like a maniac in the fourth quarter saying, I cannot believe this isn't going to win. And then there were a ton of points late. We got over. Unfortunately, sorry, guys. I guess I saved the good plays for the clients, you could say, last night because I went 2 for 2 with my MLB and NBA combo. Texas Rangers 1-0 over the Astros.
Now you're being a jerk because you and I argued about this game and you should have been wrong. You got lucky. It wasn't a good hand. You got lucky. You were on the right side. You weren't.
One pitch determined that game.
You were on the winning side. You weren't on the right side. Okay.
I would argue the Astros, part of my handicap, if you go and read the analysis at WT.buzz/BP, was the Astros had gotten lucky the previous 2 days.
Yeah. Well,
I had said that.
And I would argue my client baseball play went upside down because Kevin Gausman eats ass gumbo. Okay.
Jesus, I didn't. Is that I didn't? I've never seen that on a menu before.
Yeah, well,
Yes,
he went to LSU. That's why I picked Gumbo.
Ah, okay. Did lose my soccer best bet, of course, in the interest of transparency yesterday. I underrated the fact that Atletico Madrid would really not give a damn.
Yeah, and you know what? You know who else doesn't give a damn? Everybody watching. That's who doesn't give a damn.
Yeah, you could at least pretend and look interested.
We don't talk about soccer losers here. We only give out soccer winners. Okay, that's
I need to give out another soccer play.
Yeah, you do. Okay, and it has to win.
Yes, that's the rule.
Okay, let's get to
not seeing any edges in the final Bundesliga match day tomorrow morning. I can't wait. 9:30 a.m. I'm going to ignore you and have Goal Rush on. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever blows your hair back.
Okay. What will blow my hair back right now would be your half of the double play, Mark Zinno.
By the way, and speaking of blowing, the two pitchers in this matchup, they blow. They suck.
Would you like to go into a more technical handicap than that here?
Okay. They're complete ass, both of them. And one should be ass and the other one shouldn't. Here's the problem. Blue Jays, Tigers, okay? We played on the Blue Jays yesterday. It didn't come through for us in the first 5 again because Kevin Gausman stuck. Bowden Francis, to use a term that Brian Power likes to, Bowden Francis has the lowest FIP of any qualifying pitcher. Let me put this in normal terms, okay?
Oh.
When we say X, we are talking about expected versus reality. Bowden Francis is in the bottom 5% in Major League Baseball in expected batting average, meaning that opposing hitters are batting .311 against him expected. Bottom 6% in X slugging. Bottom 5% in X WOBA. That's weighted opponent batting average, expected weighted opponent batting average, which means they're batting .393 against him. He is bottom 5 in hard hit rate percentage, and his xERA is bottom 5 Major League Baseball over 6. Those are really bad numbers for Bowden Francis. Now, that's like good against a team like Detroit, who's really good. The problem for Detroit here tonight is that Jack Flaherty is pitching, and he's been bad. Like, this was supposed to be the guy that everybody was lusting after at the trade deadline last year.
Mm-hmm.
Bad. My God. Especially on the road. He's got a 5.57 ERA. Opponents are hitting .272 against him. Yuck. Gross. He just hasn't been good. Why are we betting on him here? Because I'm hopeful that maybe it is time, because this is what it's like working with Brian Power. Okay.
Uh-oh.
I told Brian Power, my God, the Tigers have lost 6 consecutive games with him on the mound. Brian Power's like, okay, well, maybe it's time for them to win one. I'm like, Brian, he's given up at least 4 earned runs in 3 consecutive starts. And Brian Power thinks, well, maybe it's time for him to have the opposite. So that's what we're doing here. Eventually, Jack Flaherty, who is the better pitcher here, has to pitch better. We think it happens tonight. I think it happens tonight. And the Tigers hand the Blue Jays a loss this evening.
Okay, that's a play after my own heart right there. Detroit Tigers, smash that like button if you agree, if you think Jack Flaherty is going to get back on track. The Tigers with a rest advantage as well, Mark said. Yes. They did not play yesterday while Toronto did. I do. That's the situation I look for on Fridays. All right, for my half of the double play, let's take a look at Cardinals and Royals, the I-70 series, 7:40 Eastern at Kauffman Stadium. An anti-swagger spot for the road team here. St. Louis, they had their 9-game win streak snapped on Wednesday, if you remember that, Mark. They split a doubleheader in Philadelphia. Cardinals aren't a team that I'm looking to buy long-term, even though they did have that 9-game win streak. They were massive overachievers last season, finished with 7 more wins than their Pythagorean expectation in 2024. Now, you look at this evening's series opener, I think there's a pretty sizable starting pitching edge for Kansas City. I know Cole Reagans has struggled a bit over his last 4 starts, but he's still striking a lot of batters out, and he's certainly superior to the Cardinals' Andre Pallante. Let us look at our favorite stat here. FIP. Reagans, 2.22 FIP. Pallante, 5.06. Now, odds makers are aware of everything I've just said. The price to back the Royals full game, tad bit juicy. So what do? Well, with this aforementioned starting pitching edge, let's cut the game in half and play the Royals first 5 on the run line. Minus half a run. That's only minus 115. My half of the double play. Smash that like button if you agree.
You sit here and just tell our audience about the Pythagorean theorem win expectation?
You want me to? You want me to? Oh, we haven't talked about Pythagoras, our good friend, in a while, have we?
Well, I'm well
All right.
aware of who Pythagoras is because I graduated to high school
Oh,
and I passed algebra. But I don't understand why you think.
okay.
I mean,
based Pythagorean, it's based on run differential. So based on run differential,
that's not the point. Like you quoting that, okay, makes you sound ridiculous.
I thought it sounded good, and I'll be honest with you.
That's the point. Like you like to throw that out there to make people believe you're smarter than you actually are. See, the problem is I know you, and you know that I know you.
That's not why I put it out there.
I know that I know you.
That's not why I put it in my notes. You know, I put it in my notes because as I wrote it, I started giggling to myself, and I said, "This will piss Zinno off." I said, there's a million ways I could talk about why I'm not buying St. Louis long term, but I'm like, you know what? If I bring up their Pythagorean win expectation from last year, that's going to set Zinno off, and that will make me laugh. And here we are.
Brian Power is much like Ron Burgundy when he makes notes. He will make sure he gets every single note in 100%. He will not let a note go
you, San Diego.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, Hartford, the Whale.
Ooh.
Very rare T-shirt day for me.
Oh, wearing the Whale. Best logo. Top 5 logo in all of professional sports.
I'm going to just make a comment right now. I know we, do a lot of hockey coverage. Shout out to Andrew McGinnis, Carmine, Prez.
Mm.
The NHL has not been the same since it lost the Hartford Whalers. And I know that was a long time ago, but I'll stand by that.
By the way, the best part about the Hartford Whalers, raise the logo again so everybody can see it. Because most people don't know this. The H in the logo, the H.
Yes.
See, there's an H there for Hartford.
Yes.
I mean, who doesn't love a little whale tail?
Hartford, the Whale. They only beat Vancouver maybe once or twice in a lifetime, Renee.
Good pull from is that
Mallrats.
Chasing Amy or Clerks?
Mallrats.
Mallrats.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah. Okay, I knew it was one of the Kevin Smith.
I watched Mallrats with my wife one time, and she started taking Shannon Doherty's position. Like she was like rooting for Shannon. I said, "We're not watching this anymore. If you're going to be like this," I said he wanted to play NHL '94, and not introduce his girlfriend to his mother. That's very understandable.
I mean, again, 100%. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm all for it.
All right.
Is that your favorite of the Kevin Smith?
No, Clerks is probably the best one.
Really?
Yeah.
Chasing Amy was my favorite.
I like Dogma, to be honest with you, a lot.
Did you really?
Oh yeah.
Wow. I mean, I will say Jay and Silent Bob.
There is no Sherman, Illinois.
It was a nice kind of bow on the ending that brought everything together. It was kind of really funny. I mean, it was really good. But that's going to be you and I with movie poop going to everybody's houses and beating their asses for all the comments they make in the comment section.
Well, it'll be more you. I think you would do more of the beating. I would just stand around, probably like a Silent Bob, and I don't know, smoke a cigarette. All right.
I don't know if you're smoking.
Yes. Well, we're not good. Well, actually, the country's come around now. It's okay now.
It's okay now. Yes.
Yes. All right. I had a point to make. Oh,
no.
Here we go. Great deal. 3-day offer, $49. 3-day all access. I know that you are a big fan of the 3-day all access, Mark. So you get in, you get out. It's a weekend, right? And then if you enjoy it, you can stick around. If you don't enjoy it, you go your separate ways.
Yes,
that's the way you've always been.
We are not in a long-term committed relationship with the.
Yeah. We are not asking you folks to sleep with Mark Zinno this weekend. Simply, you can get his picks for 3 days for just $49. You can do the same with me. I'm 3-1 my last 4 in the NBA, 3-1 my last 4 in Major League Baseball. I really, really am determined to make May this 5th straight winning month. And if you'd like to get on board, you can for 3 days.
Well, we know I can't make it a 5th straight winning month because April was god awful. It was terrible.
Well, that's a different month. This is May. I don't know if you looked at the calendar. I know you're in the bunker.
Knock on wood. I feel like I've turned it around. I feel like we're starting to get back to, finding what those W's look like. So that's the Whale. Yes, that too. Well, it's been ticking up the last week. So we're going to keep it going here. We know we have an NBA play tonight. I'll have a 4% in the NBA in the lone game, Knicks and Celtics. So
I will say this. Let's be transparent. I too will have an NBA client release, and it is the same play as you. You and I are very much in lockstep with Game 6 of the Eastern Conference.
I might add another play in an alternate market Because I genuinely think the way I feel about this game is like I feel like I locked in on a game script here.
I know how you love those alternate markets. All right. So
No,
we agree, the client play we agree, but this is another play we agree on, and it's also, dare I say, an emotional hedge for you. I threw that out to you, and
Yeah.
you said, you know what? You're speaking my language. So we're going to take the Celtics on the money line for our it's a best bet, it's a bet, best bet, whatever you want to call it. Oh, just it's a bet today.
It's a bet.
Celtics plus 125. Zinno, I believe if you go back to, I'm going to check this while you offer your breakdown, going back to about 2019 or 2018, every year, since, with the exception of the COVID season, when they had to play the tournament in Orlando, it was kind of wacky. There has been one team to rally from a 3-1 series deficit to win. If I was the New York Knicks, I think it's sweaty butt cheeks time, man. If they lose, true or false, this game determines the winner of the series.
Yeah. I mean, look, I am not, as a Knicks fan, I am not comfortable at all. I mean, look, even without Jason Tatum, there's an argument that Boston is still a better team than the Knicks. Like,
Yes.
They're going to need their very best effort. Look, it is the biggest Knick game in a quarter century, guys. You and I went over this. Last time the Knicks made it to the Eastern Conference Finals was 2000. That was 25 years ago. Not only are the Knicks playing in the biggest game in the last 25 years, the Yankees and Mets are playing right across town. Like, it's an insane Friday night in New York City. And
Parking will be expensive.
What's that?
Parking will be expensive.
Parking's always expensive. Just take a freaking train. Don't be a douche. Okay. Just be smart. That's why they have trains. Anyway. And you could drink on the train, so it's worth it.
Oh.
Regardless. So there's a lot going on right now, but I'm with you. If the Knicks, going back to Boston for game 7 feels like a recipe for disaster. Now, again, is it hard to overcome a 3-1 deficit? Yes, because you got to win 3 straight. And, you know, things sort of work themselves out, similar to what Houston and Golden State did in their series. Remember that? They brought it all the way back to a game 7 and then lost at home in game 7. Of course, I was wrong on that one. But nonetheless, the Knicks have to win tonight, and I think they know it. And Boston, their whole key to success is defense. To make up for the loss of Jason Tatum, they have to have an excellent defensive performance and keep the Knicks below 100. And that's really the formula that they have. If they can do that, I think the Celtics win this game. Emotionally, I'm still rooting for the Knicks, but I don't love this spot at all. And so Celtics are going to get this thing done here and sadly force a game 7 for me to start breaking things.
Okay. This is why I always like to have my notes out before I speak, Mark Zinno, because when I don't, I say something incorrectly. So you go back to 2017, every playoffs except the COVID one has seen a team recover not from a 3-1 series deficit, but from an 0-2 series deficit, series deficit. So that is what the Celtics are trying to do, make that, I believe that would be 8 of the last 9 postseasons. So 2,
sounds about right, yeah.
7, yeah, it would be 8 of 9. So there you go. If the Celtics can do it, win the next 2 games. But we like them tonight. It's a bet, Celtics money line. For Mark and I's favorite bet on this game, go to WT.buzz/MZ or WT.buzz/BP. I'm going to put in Major League Baseball. I know you've got at least one baseball play also with your NBA play.
Yes.
I'm going to have probably one as well. 2 plays probably on Friday. So I've already entered my NBA play. If you are a client, a subscriber, if you will, you have already received that play. It's probably already written up by the time you're listening to this, quite frankly.
Working on it.
Okay.
Guess what? Next week, I'll be back in my lovely studio.
Good. I'm glad that towards the end of this trip, we were able to start recording in the morning again. Not that anyone listening, watching cares, but it was better for me. I'll be honest with you.
Well, that's my whole concern in life is to make
Thank
sure.
you.
I mean, as your work husband, you're definitely the wife because you are a bitch.
Uncalled for.
Yeah, but accurate. So
nope.
Happy wife, happy life. I'm here for you.
Danny Alexander, I don't think he likes it as much.
Well,
in the morning, he looks like he
He's the troll behind the scenes at this point. He's back to trolling Frodo.
He didn't have his Sunday's best on yesterday's show. That was noted. We don't do the show on Sunday. We will be back on Monday as another week is in the books. Remember to click subscribe, Zinno. And yes, the content's going to be free no matter what you do.
And guess what, guys? We're getting ever so close to having our first guest on the show. Very excited.
Well, I was not informed of this.
Well, I wasn't informed of your stupid college football show, so there's that.
You're very bitter about that.
I just would have expected a phone call from me, a little text or something. Hey, Zeke, they want me to do this college football show. What do you think? Oh, go ahead.
It's not my fault that after I accepted it was then put in the. I don't think you were supposed to. I don't know. You were on the battlefield when that phone call.
Again, don't put it in the Slack if you don't want me to talk about it.
Can I reach you while you're on the battlefield, by the way? Do you have a direct line? I remember in Full Metal Jacket, remember the general, He had that phone. He was carrying around the phone. Do I have that luxury with you?
Yes. As long as there's cell service.
Girl, they want me to do another show. Is that okay with you, sir?
Yes. Would have been fine. I would have answered.
800 hours. Oh, okay. All right. Well, you live and you learn. All right, everybody. For Mark Zinno, for me, Brian Power, for Dan Alexander, let's all have a great weekend and cash some tickets.
Why? So depressing.
Oh.
Can you please play the